I would suggest that we close here so that we can get through things on time. And I will give you all my word that my intention is, as long as I'm not overridden by your colleagues, to start with parks when we pick this back up on the 11th.
No, I think we can hustle through this and we can get to the only
Counselor?
parks amendment that the entire community is waiting for.
Councilor Zimmerman?
Thanks. I've never seen a city council or county commission in my life be so giddy to cut public safety.
This feels like an important vote. This is the increase to the police. Increase is credit to Councillor Canal, that terminology. I guess, hold on, one more thing. The last thing I'll say is I would like to thank Councillor Murillo. We are teaming up on this, so Avalos 1 and Murillo 1 are 1. And I also want to give a shout out to Councillor Novick, who also had been proposing similar ideas.
I would hope that one measly call with a metro chamber wouldn't shiver your timbers so much that you couldn't vote with us. I really hope that we can just get this done. Come on, Novick. Come on. Come on.
This is not a laughing matter. It's 11:30 at night, and I know that folks want to have fun, but this is serious stuff.
I do think that we should get to the amendments to take money from police and give it to parks, because that's the main event. That's what the fans paid to see.
It's an increase, which is more exciting.
This is a city who was rocked 5 years ago. This is a city who has difficulty retaining officers. This is a city who has built back over the last 5 years. This is a city who has renewed its investment in the Portland Police, because we know after their response job, the next most important job that I've asked the chief to do is increase retention and increase recruitment to fill these vacancies. Right now is not the reason. It is not the time to cut public safety. It is not the time to cut police officers. Yet.
And you know what? It's not a cut. It's actually an increase, as Councillor Samir Kanal has so called it.
I didn't study math. I know there's some PhDs up here, but 316 and 316 appear to me to be the same number and not higher or lower than each other. And so characterizing something that went from 316 to 318 and then would go back to 316 as a cut is disingenuous, okay? The plain text of the charter says that the board, the new Community Police Oversight Board, which is now called the Community Board for Police Accountability, must have a budget that is proportional to 5% of the Portland Police Bureau's budget, which is proposed at $318 million, which is proposed at $318 million, which is proposed at
$318 million.
It's raining bullshit tonight. So
incredibly disingenuous.
This was a $2 million increase to the police budget, which no other bureau received at this time. They have 91 fully funded vacant positions.
Yes, there are vacancies, but there are multiple other offers out here to backfill the parks. We are choosing to keep $100 million in contingency in the PSEF fund when PSEF is already funding so much of parks. They can take on a little bit more so that they can fill that vacancy, or excuse me, that backlog of maintenance. We are pitting parks against police, and they're the two things that Portlanders want right now. They don't have to be pitted together. This is a move. This council is giddy to cut it.
Figure out what had popular consensus, but I frankly have things that have at least 7 votes that are going to get passed today. I frankly have things that have at least 7 votes
That are going to get passed today.
Novik.
I am totally prepared to vote on June 11th to allocate 677,000 of the 5 million that we're raising to Vision Zero. I just am tired, confused. I don't want to back out any of the general fund, and I think it's just easier to leave the general fund there and take this up in a couple of weeks.
Maria.
I'm sorry, I'm delirious.
Councilor Creomaline, what was the second piece of what you put forward? 1,000 to the James Beard Market. 1 million. It's getting late.
It's raining bullshit tonight.
Counselor Ryan is correct.
Counselor, please don't impugn your colleagues' motives.
I didn't impugn any motives. And what I'm saying is that this council has been giddy to cut police all day long.
So I have a motion to move the amendment topic area, the next one, to parks because it's a high priority area and it's something that the community has been asking for this entire time as a top priority. So I don't know why we're pushing it off to the 11th. I'm suggesting we do it before transportation so that you guys can have a little hustle in your step. Yeah, but if you guys start slow rolling stuff, I'm going to be annoying about it.
Okay, Councilor Murillo, you're back in the queue.
It will take me 1 minute to get the votes I need to move 2 million from police into parks. So I think we can get that done.
Yes, I would like to make sure that we are still going to parks before that, so I will make the motion that Councilor Murillo made earlier to reorder to get into the parks section of this.
To get to this vote at the 11:35 point, this is not necessary. We can backfill parks with many other amendments that have been proposed. I hope you will consider those instead.
You know, Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Y'all, we need to be done in 16 minutes. So I'm going to ask that we move to a vote at this time.
Canal.
Again, going up and then saying, no, let's not go up is not a cut. I vote aye.
Wayamaline. This is not a cut. I vote aye. Murillo.
This increase does not have to go to police. It could go to parks. And people are asking for these park services. So with that, I vote aye.
Novick.
If the mayor had proposed cutting the police budget by $6 billion and adding $2 million in general fund to the parks budget, I'd be voting to restore some police funding. Tonight, I vote aye.
Green.
Aye.
Avalos.
I know my district. I knock on those doors. They want to be safe. I want them to be safe. My entire agenda is about safety. I just don't believe that a police budget that has over 300 million when we're in a dire budget needs to have an increase. So I vote to uncrease by 2 million. I vote aye.
Dunphy.
I've asked repeatedly what these funds are designated to be used for. I have heard broadly around call time, but I've not been able to understand what that means because no one has been able to explain to me how these $2 million will actually be used this year. I vote aye.
The amendment is approved with 7 yes votes and 5 no votes. Zimmerman.
We chose to keep tree code regulators, who we've heard about. That same recommendation came from the same director who proposed in her preliminary budget to cut sports. Mayor, you got played. They knew that this was going to happen. You got played.
I defer to Chief Day on the impact on hiring, obviously, is his ability to recruit. But in terms of actually managing the positions, I don't think it needs to be limited duration. Again, already one-time funding that will go away at the end of 2025-26 in the Police Bureau's budget. Even without this amendment, as it is, they would have to hire additional officers on the expectation that either they would reduce their overtime budget in 26-27 or council would provide them with additional funds. And so I don't think that this fundamentally changes that relationship. It increases the magnitude, but the relationship is already, that issue is already there without this amendment.
So I told them, that's very interesting. Let's have some discussions over the next couple of weeks.
I'm going to leave it at that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And now I'm done. Thank you.
It's raining bullshit tonight. So go outside and open wide. It's raining bullshit.